I want to ask you to just think about something for just a minute, because your generation related to marriage is really different. I mean, there's our generation is, we're in our early 60s, and so our generation has a way that they think about relationships, but a lot of your generation isn't getting married. Either they're afraid of marriage or whatever. What would you say to your generation related to marriage?
Well, so specifically, the thing that we took the most heat over and what you're referring to is our decision to wait until our marriage night to have sex. And the tabloids got a hold of this. Somewhere along the line, somebody asked me a question, a reporter, and I answered it honestly. He must have asked how our sex life was or something along those lines, and I said we were waiting until we got married. And from that moment forward, any talk show I went on, every tabloid, that's all they wanted to talk about. Why aren't you guys having sex? And it really bothered me in the beginning. They labeled me the Virgin Bachelor, every tabloid, the Virgin Bachelor. It could be respectable news outlets like Good Morning America. All they want to talk about is our sex life or lack thereof. And we've had sex now.
We've had sex now.
I wanted to get that out there so everybody knows.
We were all worried about it.
But it really bothered me in the beginning because I felt like our society, Hollywood specifically, they just want to label me as this outcast, this weirdo. Like how could this guy who seems to be fairly normal, good-looking guy, he's the Bachelor, how could he make such a radical decision? Why is he doing this? Because everybody knows you've got to find sexual compatibility before you get married. You have to test drive the car before you get married. Everybody knows that, right? And so they're looking at me like I'm weird. And so that really bothered me, because I wanted people to know why we were taking that stance, but they didn't care to hear my reasoning. They just wanted to put a label on us. But as the months went on, what I think we both realized is that whether or not the tabloids and the entertainment shows and everybody wanted to hear our story, people were still understanding it, and people were still getting the message, and they were seeing God's truth through us. And it became this amazing platform. And now I go to churches, and because sex is such a hot topic, of course the pastors want to talk about it in a good way, of course. And it's allowed me and us to share this message of, you know what? We made this decision because we want to live in God's blessing. And not having sex, that's just an act of obedience. And I try to be... we try to be obedient in many different ways, whether that be tithing or spending time in the Word or sex. And that's one act, but it's such a crucial act. And for all the young people out there who are listening, you will not regret that decision. And I'm talking about sex here. You will not regret that decision to wait until marriage. And it's such a special, intimate thing that God has created. And I know you've probably heard this in church a million times, and you may even read it in the Bible, but it's such a special, intimate thing that God made for you and that one person you're going to go through life with. You're doing yourself a huge disservice if you're having sex with other people.
And to be honest, Sean was the one who presented that commitment to me. The day before he proposed, he said, I am not going to have sex until marriage. And I immediately was like, wait, what? I knew you were a Christian, but a lot of people say they're Christian and they don't live it out. So I was like very taken back. But immediately I thought, yes, absolutely, I will do that with you. No questions asked. And we held each other accountable the whole time. We made sure that commitment that we both made meant something. And I think that a lot of people are surprised to hear us say that about sex, but that was the best decision that I could have ever made.